bike season. A lot of us have our bikes out. I know I do. And part of it is, just like with your car, you got to wash your bike. You got to take care of it. A lot of people don't know how to do that. That's where my man Bob Mosier and REI come into play. Bob, good morning. Thanks for being here. So let's talk about this. How important is it for us to wash our bikes and then maintain, and particularly like the cranks and the chain and all that?
Well, like you just said, just like maintaining your car, it's really important. It's going to extend the life of your bike, and it's really going to reduce the overall long-term costs of repairing your bicycle as well.
Okay, so how often is this something we should do? Because I know I find here, if you mountain bike, your bike gets really dusty and dirty, and then even on the paved trails, there's just a lot of dust in the air.
You're exactly right. So we always recommend that at least once a year you have a full stem-to-stern bike tune-up that you do. Then after that, the basic maintenance is going to really depend on how often and the conditions. For example, if you do ride every day, or if you're in bad conditions, then you may need to wash and re-lubricate your bike maybe once every week or two. If you do it maybe just once a week or longer, you might be able to go 1 or 2 months before you do it.
Okay, so when we talk about the idea of washing our bike, power washing it down where we do our cars, not the best idea, right?
You're exactly right. Stay away from those high-pressure power washers. Anytime that you're forcing water into areas that it's not supposed to get water, you're just going to shorten the life of your bicycle.
Okay,
there.
but using a hose and like a bucket at home, that's a good idea, right?
Yeah, a gentle soap is great. Also, like the wash that you have in your hand there, that's a great option as well. Something that's bike-friendly but also very gentle is really good.
Okay, because you don't want to mess up kind of the carbon or the aluminum or whatever your bike is made out of, right?
You're exactly right.
Okay, then you also have here, besides the bike wash, we have a degreaser. What does this do, and do you wash your whole bike with this, or how does this work?
This is designed mostly for the bike chain. It's designed to just remove all of the dirt and grime from the chain to keep it from working its way into that chain. So this is going to remove all of that, and then you're going to want to add lubricant afterwards as well to keep things from just being as friction-free as possible.
Okay, now how often should you put like a little like chain lube on the bike?
Once every week or two if you're doing it often, a little bit longer if you're not. But the thing to keep in mind is that if you go into some bad weather and, whether it be rain or even some dust, then even if you did it yesterday, you may need to do it again today too.
Yeah, sometimes, especially on a mountain bike, pretty much every time I ride, I'll probably lube up the chain right before we go. Now, the one thing people are thinking about, okay, how do you get the chain clean? Because the chain becomes a mess. Here, I'll trade you for some of this stuff here. You really got to get some brushes. You can buy bike kits. I mean, I've used old toothbrushes and stuff, but you got to get in there because, again, if you haven't looked at the chain, it can be a disaster.
You're exactly right. So using a good brush that's going to help to brush away any of that dirt and grime is that first step. Then gentle soap or your bike wash to wipe down the bike. Degrease everything for your chain or any sort of lubricated parts, and then reapply some bike lubricant.
Okay, real quick, with the degreaser, so do you put that into a bucket with some water then, just like you do soap, or do you pour it right on there, put it right on the brush?
I usually either put it onto a brush, or I just gently wipe it all throughout the chain and also the front chain rings and the rear cassette as well.
Oh, okay. What about your shocks? I know you have a front shock on this mountain bike. Do you clean that, or how does that work?
Again, just some gentle cleaning is going to do a really good job, and then add some shock-specific lubricants going to really help with that.
Okay. By the way, just in case you're wondering, we got a nice Navara front suspension mountain bike here. It's got some pretty good SRAM components. How much does something like this run for?
This runs for $9.99.
Okay, and this is a bike you can beat this thing up, and it's going to be just fine.
Yeah, it's designed to really take a beating and hit the trails, but have a lot of fun too.
Okay, and Bob and REI have some classes coming up. You can learn how to properly maintain your bike, even do a couple of cool things with it. For more information on that, you can head to our website at Kasa.com, click on the Kasa blog. Bob, thanks for all the information. By the way, real quick, how much does some of this bike wash and the degreaser cost?
Depending on what you're looking at, it goes from about $9 up to about $20.
Oh, okay. All right, $9 to $20. It's good stuff. Definitely worth your money because your bike costs a lot more than that. We'll be right back with